Now you may be asking yourself, one, who created that sick-ass intro? That would be me. And two, how long would it take somebody to paint something like this? So, this video is a little different. I'm not showing you how I painted it. I am doing kind of an uninterrupted painting video, I guess. But other than the parts where I'm not painting or the parts where my ham hands have gotten in the way and you can't see anything anyway, I haven't deleted anything out of this video. And the reason for that is I've sped it up. I want you to see how long it takes to accomplish the effect that I got if you wanted to. And more importantly, how much back and forth is required in this. It's never a straight line, and anyone who says it is a liar, and their feet probably smell like cheese. I am, however, going to talk about what's happening here. So, step one in this process, and step one in any non-metallic metal process for me, is to define my edges and kind of sketch out where my light is going to be. Okay, now this is our base color. It's not going to be super visible. It's not super important. You can be very sloppy during this phase. But what I'm doing is sketching out where my values will end up being and defining all of the edges that will catch light. Now I know for a fact that you have seen better painters than me on the internet talk to you about how to do non-metallic metal and the bounce lighting and the Coriolis effect and all that other garbage. And it is important. So if I'm your first stop for non-metallic metal, I don't know what you're doing here, because there's far more qualified people to teach you how to do that. But I haven't seen any of them talk about how long it takes to do this, okay? You are 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this YouTube video. I am probably close to 10 minutes into this process. I've sped this up ×2. I spend a lot of time taking the miniature away from my face, out of my light, looking at it to make sure it makes sense, to make sure that the light is going to be perceived coming from the direction that I want it to. So this process takes a lot longer than anyone is telling you that it does. Now, another thing that I want to cover is that you do not have to master 17 different techniques for this to work, okay? My entire painting style is based on two things: sketching out my light and glazing, okay? I sketch out where I want things to be. No, it doesn't matter if it's skin or non-metallic metal or the leather on somebody's boot. I sketch out where my values are. I make little dots and scratches in the transition periods, and then I glaze over it with my highlight color or a mid-tone color of the mix between the highlight and the mid-tone. There is no reason that you need to be hanging from your ankles by a ceiling fan to, wet blend at a 75-degree angle. Nobody cares, okay? I do all of this with two techniques, and that's all I've pretty much ever used, and I use it in different capacities and opacities to accomplish what you're looking at. Well, not right now, but what you'll be looking at the end. Right now, it's not super impressive. Stay with me. But at the end, you'll see I use the same techniques over and over and over again. It does not have to be complicated.
She's in love, but ooh, I don't know what to do. It's much too fast, I know it might not last, but it feels so new. So call me at 5 and I'll come through, but don't call me at night, that's how we do. Let's just keep it casual. Put that love on me, I'll put that love on you.
Now, I know you've heard it 100 times from 100 people, but the large jumps in value, in your brightness and in your value, put right next to the shadows, and that harsh transition period is how you sell your non-metallic metal. I know you've heard this. I'm just going over it again for the people in the back and little Jimmy, this is his first stop for some reason. You want your values to have large jumps in them to sell the metallic glare effect, okay? So that's that. Yeah, that's that.
Too fast, I know it might not last, but it feels so new. So call me at 5 and I'll come through, but don't call me at night, that's how what we do.
Quick reminder, you are 6 minutes and 10 seconds into a video. Congratulations, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. Of me painting this trident and starting. It doesn't even really look metallic yet, okay? It's very turd colored at this point. So we've made very little progress, very little jump in values. I've cut out all the parts where you can't see what I'm doing because my ogre knuckles are in the way, or I'm just staring at the trident. So I'm probably close to 30 minutes in, okay? So 30 minutes in, this is the result I've got. This looks like baby turd right now. So you need to have realistic expectations for yourself on how long this is going to take. You are not going to accomplish a display level NMM on something like this in 10 minutes, or at least I'm not. If you're better than me, I don't know why you're here. But you have to have a realistic time expectation or you're going to get frustrated. Okay, now see, this is what I'm talking about right here. I have jumped in value tremendously, but you do not cover the entire area, okay? Notice how I'm leaving little bits of this in that still dark area, some of it in my base coat. Those drastic changes in value and brightness are what's going to sell it as metallic. See right there? That looks metallic-ish, kinda. We're not there yet, but it's starting to look metallic, especially toward the little tippy tips. It's because of the drastic changes in value and brightness. Now, the second thing that I want you to realize, in addition to how long an effect like this takes to get right or get what you're looking for, is accidents, okay? Happy little accidents, happy little clouds. If you put a reflection in the wrong place, you do not have to throw it away and burn the house down. It's not that serious. Especially with the sketching and glazing technique that I use, it's extremely easy to correct or move reflections in your non-metallic metal. Another thing that I want you to realize is non-metallic metal reflections are not perfect. It is definitely a selling point if you have the reflections, or at least some secondary reflections, in different places, okay? Different colors, different values, different opacity levels. All of this helps to sell non-metallic metal. Now, another question that you're already asking yourself, I can see you typing it in the comments or skipping the video because I didn't tell you, is what colors is he using? What colors could he possibly be using to put down to get this effect? And you know what? I'm not going to tell you because it's not important. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Application is more important than colors. You know what colors I'm using? I'm using a red-brown. I'm using a sunny skin tone adjacent color. And I'm using a pale skin tone at this point to mix in for the highlights. That is all you need to know. You do not need to use the exact same colors I'm getting to get this effect. It does not matter, and people need to stop focusing so much on the exact colors and the exact paint range that this painter's using. You can mix your colors to get the same effect and the same color variations I am with those 3 colors I mentioned. Okay, I realized that last little voiceover sounded a bit angry, and I don't know why. I need to calm down. I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job. Now, one of these days, when I have like a billion subscribers, I am going to acquire a better camera setup so that I'm not doing this on a webcam and it doesn't look awful. You can help that process by commenting and subscribing and liking the video and showing your grandma. And then we'll get a better camera, and this will be top-notch quality. It'll be like I'm doing it in front of you. Now this is the part that takes the longest, okay? You're gonna see me doing this a lot. So you put your values down, you're blending your values, but it looks too bright. It's not really selling the metallics, okay? So this is how you fix that. You bring your shadows back into the equation. So I thin my original red-brown color down to a glaze, and I come in and I reinforce some of those shadows and those transition areas, some of those darker places on it. And immediately you will see it start to turn into metal right before your very eyes. It's like magic. Now, one of the things I was struggling with when making this video is I didn't know what kind of background music to put in, but since I asked you to show you Grandmama, I can't put anything crazy in here. So it's probably going to be some like classical chill piano music, which means you can also put this video on, since it's probably going to be like 8 hours long, and watch it while you sleep. Do that, put it on repeat. Hey, I just needed to do a voiceover and test to see if you could hear the tornado sirens. If I don't finish this video, it's because I've been sucked up to the heavens. Okay, didn't get sucked up. Again, notice how you've heard this 100 times, but notice how I'm painting in smaller and smaller areas whenever it comes to the highlights. Paint inside the next highlight, go outside of that highlight to give a few scratches and little nicks in the metal, but stay inside of your highlight area. Don't you go outside of it. I'll be watching. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, that doesn't look like baby poop anymore. It looks like brass. Yeah, that's because you're 16 minutes and 30 seconds in. I am like 50 at this point. So again, this takes longer than you think, okay? Do not limit yourself by expecting to achieve a perfect result in 10 minutes. Okay, this is something that takes time, it takes practice. I've been working on non-metallic metal for like 3 years, and I still see people's work that blows my mind and makes mine look like a kindergartner did it with a crayon. It takes time, especially when you're getting started. Don't rush yourself. You are here for the process and the learning, okay? Not the end result at this point. I just realized I say okay like 17 times in that last voiceover. Why didn't nobody tell me I say that so much? Holy crap. Special prize to whoever can comment down below and tell me how many times I say okay in this video. Special prize. Don't know what it is yet. Special prize though. Let's talk about object source lighting. Object source lighting is some sort of environmental stimuli other than your main lighting source that you're going to represent on your miniature, or in my case, trident. So with this, it does help to sell non-metallic metal. It helps a ton. So what I did was just picked a random color. It does not matter. I picked a random color that goes good with the brassy color that I have going. So I picked a very dark sea blue. And I am going to represent that as shining from the bottom left, since my main light is very clearly coming from the upper right. And it really does a good job of a secondary light source kind of representing more bounce light on your miniature from the environment. Now once again, I've built up my highlights. Even on the secondary blue light, I've built up my highlights. Now I'm going to come in and reinforce those shadows. It is a constant back and forth. Like I said, it's never a straight line, and it takes longer than you think to get the effect that you want. You could stop right here. You could love this effect, and you could absolutely stop. I did not. I wanted something a little bit different, a little bit darker, and a little bit more weathered. So I need to control how much bright light I have reflecting off of this trident, whether it's from my main light source or whether it's from my secondary light source. So now it's time to come in and reinforce the shadows again. So one of the things that I like about non-metallic metal that you can't get with true metallic metal is the complete control over light and shadow. With true metallic metal, you are working with a paint that contains metal flakes, so you're very much at the mercy of whatever lighting you're in when you're viewing or someone else is viewing your miniature. With non-metallic metal, you have complete control over that, so you are able to kind of guide the eye of the viewer to the parts of the miniature that you want them to view and enjoy more. This spot right here is a prime example of what I was talking about earlier. If you remember, this part was very, very bright in the beginning. By the time this miniature is finished, you'll notice that it becomes very, very dark. I decide that I don't want a whole lot of light reflecting there. And you can make those changes at any time. There's absolutely no need to get discouraged if something doesn't look right. Take some time, step back, take it out of your super bright painting lights, look at it, and see what needs to move. This spot right here gets very, very dark compared to where it started by the end of this painting journey, but I'm happier with the result. I gotta be honest with you, we're 24 minutes into a video. You probably haven't made it this long, but if you have, you better like the video because I'm getting real tired of doing voiceovers. Holy crap, this is a long video. I'm never doing this again. Everything's going to be chopped up, sped up, boiled down. You're going to have to do your best interpretation of if there's even paint on the brush while I'm doing it because this is crazy. There comes a point in non-metallic metal when you get close to your brightest point on your highlighting journey, and that is when you need to focus on your main reflections and stop highlighting your secondary reflections. So I have moved over now to where I am using just the pale skin tone, and you'll notice that I'm not highlighting all these little spots like I was before. I'm highlighting edges. I've got 2 main reflections in the bend of the trident and then the 3 at the top, and other than that I'm doing very little highlighting. It's all little scratch marks and stuff like that, but I'm focusing on my main reflections. And a mistake that I see a lot of people make, and I fall into myself, is they highlight every reflection to the same brightness level, and that's not how metal works. It's not how metal reflects. You will have your brightest points, and then you will have varying degrees of brightness throughout your other reflections. So pick a couple spots that are directly facing your light source and highlight those up to your brightest points in your full opacity using your brightest color, and then the rest of it strategically stop highlighting as you're adding your highlight color in, and you'll notice that it really helps to sell your non-metallic metal effect. Now this blue highlight right here is a perfect example of something that I did, looked at, and hated. I decided it was way too bright because it was way too far away from my object source lighting source, so I hated it. Now I have 2 options. I can throw this away, and start over. I can get discouraged, put it on a shelf and never touch it again, or I can, whenever I come back in and I start reinforcing my shadows, I can bring this down to a brightness level that I want it to be. I want you to pay attention to how bright these blue highlights are on the bottom of this trident and how bright they are when we get to the end. Now when highlighting the little C pimples on this thing, there's really no rhyme or reason to why I chose green other than I have a very limited understanding of the ocean, and stuff that's in the ocean is probably green to some degree. But the important part about this green that I want you to notice is there's a few spots where there's imperfections in the trident. I also used the green to highlight those imperfections. So right here, and then there's one on the other side right here. And I wanted to bring some interest to those, so I used the green that I was already using to highlight, or to darken those rather, to change the hue of that imperfection just to make it more interesting to look at. Again, there's no wrong answer. now again, oh no, what color green is he using? How am I supposed to follow up? Shut up. We're not doing that. I got a dark green and I mixed it with a lighter green in like 3 stages, and then at my brightest highlight, it was just the bright green that I had. You're 31 minutes in, but in my defense, I'm going to put start to finish in the title. So, and it tells you how long the videos are, so you really only have yourself to blame on this one. But if you didn't leave a like, and I'm doing 30 minutes of voiceovers, I swear. Alright, we're officially not painting the brass for a minute, so I'm painting like the steel or iron coupling thing. I'm not a trident surgeon, so I don't know what this is. But we're officially painting that. There's nothing complicated about this. I grabbed some grays. I lied to you. I did stippling on this too, on this gray part and on the rope, because I wanted the texture. You can 100% unsubscribe, dislike the video, comment, and tell me I'm a dude head, because I told you there was only 2 techniques and I 100% lied to you. So there's stippling in this last part. Hold on to your underpants, don't go crazy. But yeah, just get some grays. I'm not going to tell you what colors. Grays, when you're highlighting your grays, get a skin tone or like an ice yellow color to make sure that you have some variation and it leans it towards warm colors. That's what I did here so that it matched. Nothing complicated, but I did lie to you. 100% I did. Not even sorry. Now the elite among you, and I mean very elite among you, will notice that that little eye gem thing in the middle was painted gray, metallic eye, weird looking thing, was painted gray and you didn't get to see it. That's because of situations like this where my absolutely enormous sausage phalanges got in the way. So that happens. And then I did some underpainting on the rope. I put some green down and then I put some brown down so that it had some yucky variation in the undertones. It was kind of fun. Might do it again. Might not. Felt cute. Might delete later. Don't know. Oh yeah, and that's a blue eye, like a blue eye gem. I picked blue because I already had blue on my wet palette, and I didn't want to put any more paint on my wet palette, and I painted it like an eye because it kind of looked like an eye. So I just got blues and brighter blues and painted them in the shape of an eye. So that's how you do that. And this is rope. I got some rope colors and I painted it like a rope. Not a whole lot to it. In all seriousness, I started with a tan color. Doesn't matter which tan color, just start with a tan color. And then I went through and did a couple rounds of highlights. And then I will give it a good wash with a red-brown color to kind of bring it back down and highlight those teeny tiny little areas that I painted over. And then a lot of stippling towards the edge with my brighter color, or towards the end with my brighter colors, like you see here, always towards the light source. We don't want to go too bright because it is a different material than the metal that it's on. We want it to be distinguishable. So remember, if you learn two things from this video, I want it to be these two things. One, this process takes quite a long time. And two, it is a constant back and forth between light and shadows. And that does not only go for non-metallic metal. I'm painting rope here. You'll notice that I'm bringing in the shadows with this glaze of my dark color. I'm going to come in and highlight that rope again as soon as I'm done touching the trident again. And then just like on the non-metallic metal, I'm going to come in and bring the shadows back around to give it some interest. It's a constant dance back and forth between shadow and light, and it takes a lot of time. I'm a large amount of minutes in. You're less than 40. So, golly, this video is going to be 40 minutes. anyway, if you were to get the exact same trident that I have and try to paint it the exact same way, this is how you would do it. Just know this took me an hour and 40 minutes to do. So pace yourself, take your time. Happy painting.